dalšího videa. A máme tady video s mamkou. Já to ukážu trošku blíže, no ruky, protože jsem nechci dneska ukázat. No dobře, nehoďte sám, že? Už jsem koukal špatně.
Dobrý. Dobrý.
Tak. No a máme tady video. Řekněme, které video to máme.
Challenge.
No, kterou? No právě, jestli na té R4 hub, tak oni kreslí nějaké věci a my to budeme kreslit. Budeme kreslit o nich věci. No a prostě, kolik máme tady lajků?
30, nemám.
Více.
Tak 50.
Tak 50 lajků. Si dáte do kolik hodin?
Do 3 hodin? 4?
4 hodin, to je za chvilku. No, má 6 hodin, no, to je za chvilku. No a jdeme asi na to, že jo? Lidičky. Jo, já to mám tady připravený, jakože to je super, že? No a my si dáme kámen nůžky a do výhře, no tak bude začít vybírat věc. No, takže jsem to chtěla, že se to bude špatně. Takže jakože budeme, no, nějaké ty věci vybírat, no ale když si dáme kámen nůžky a do výhře, tak to bude vybírat a budeme to kreslit. Takže asi jdeme na, pojď. Kámen, nůžky, papír, teď. Kámen, nůžky, papír, teď. Mamka vítězí, takže nevybral nějaký obrázek. Tady bych si vybrala. Z toho slona. A lidi, já to musím tady nějak zmenšit.
Dejte dolů.
To
to je dolů. No.
Tam. Samé reklamy.
Hey, our friends, today we're going to draw an elephant. We're going to draw a cartoon elephant. I'm going to use a Sharpie. You don't have to if you don't want to. You can use whatever you feel comfortable with. I like using a Sharpie because it doesn't have an eraser, and so we don't spend any time erasing. Now, you want to make sure that you have 2 sheets of paper if you're using a marker so that your drawing doesn't go through the paper and onto the table. Okay, let's first start by drawing our elephant's eye, and we're going to draw like an oval shape, and inside of the oval we're going to draw a smaller circle in the top right and an even smaller circle in the bottom left. Then we're going to color in the big circle but leave these 2. Now you want to make sure that you have 2 sheets of paper if you're using a marker so that your drawing doesn't go through the paper and onto the table. Okay, let's first start by drawing our elephant's eye. And we're going to draw like an oval shape. And inside of the oval, we're going to draw a smaller circle in the top right. And an even smaller circle in the bottom left. Then we're going to color in the big circle, but leave these 2 smaller circles white. Great. Now remember, when I fast forward the video, or if I go too fast, you can always pause the video. Okay, next step we're going to draw is our elephant's forehead. So we're going to start above his eye, and we're going to draw a curve that comes down in front of his eye. Okay, that's his forehead. Now we're going to draw his trunk. We're going to start up here, and we're going to draw an S line that comes down and connects to his forehead. So this is for his trunk. Draw an S line, curves around, and then back into his forehead. Okay, now we're going to draw the other side of his trunk, and it's going to come down and turn into a smile. So we're going to start right next to where we started, and we're going to draw another S line that comes around, and then into, right under his eye, into his face, but this is going to create part of his smile right here. Okay, now let's draw the end of his trunk. So we're going to draw a curve that comes in. And it's not going to connect because we're going to come over here and we're going to create another curve like that. Now we're going to draw one of his tusks. And it's going to be an A shape that's curved on the end. So we're going to come around like that for his tusk. Okay, now we can draw the bottom of his mouth or his jaw. We're going to start right in front of the tusk. Draw a curve that comes back. And it's almost in line with the top line. So his forehead line and his jaw line end about in the same spot. Okay, now we're going to draw his ear. It's going to be big. He's an elephant. So we're going to start inside of his head, and we're going to come back here, and we're going to keep going. Watch this. We're going to come down, then we're going to come back up. Now, if you need to, you can pause the video, and then we're going to come up and create the edge of his ear. That was a tricky line. It's like a big 6, a backwards 6. Now, you can pause the video to take extra time to draw that. Start right here, come out, down, back up, and then create the edge of his ear. Okay, now let's draw his chest or his neck. So we're going to draw a diagonal line that comes down in front of his ear, and then we're going to draw his first leg. So we're going to draw a line that comes down. Then we're going to draw the back of this leg. So we're going to draw another line. It starts close to this line, but as it comes down, it's going to get further away. This is going to flare out. Okay, now we're going to connect these two lines at the bottom with a curve. Don't draw straight across, draw it curved, and that'll make his leg look 3D. Okay, now we're going to draw his other front leg, and an easy way to do that is to draw a line just like we did for the first part of his leg, and then connect it with a curve. Look at that. Now this leg, you can only see part of it because it's being overlapped by his other leg. So it looks like this leg is behind his first leg. Okay, now let's draw his belly. So we're going to draw a curve. We're going to imagine this chest line coming down and connecting and curving back for his belly. Okay, now we're going to draw his back legs. So we're going to draw a line that comes down diagonal, similar to the front leg. And then we're going to draw the back of his leg, but we're going to start way up here on his back. So we're going to draw his back. It's going to curve around and create his back leg. Okay, now we're going to connect the bottom just like we did on the front. So we're going to draw another curve. That makes his leg look round. And then we're going to draw his fourth leg back here. We're going to do the same thing we did on his front leg. Draw the first line. It matches this one. And then we'll connect the bottom with a curve. We did it. He's got 4 legs. Now, elephants have these big, huge toenails. We're going to draw 2 upside down U's that are connected. So here's one. And then we're going to draw another one right next to it, connected. So there's his toes. We're going to draw 1 toe over here on this foot. And we'll do the same back here. We're going to draw 2 toes connected. And then we're going to draw 1 on his back leg. I forgot to draw his other ear. He has 2 ears, right? So we're going to draw his second ear right back here. Now we're only going to draw part of that ear because it's behind his body. It's being covered up. So it looks 3D because it's being overlapped. Okay, now let's draw his tail. And we're going to draw a U shape that comes down and then curls back up. Okay, now let's draw the other side of his tail. We're going to start far away and then come close at the end. Okay, now we're going to draw the hair at the end of his tail. We're going to draw a curve this way. And then to finish it, we're going to draw an S curve. Curve to the left and then back to the right and connect it in. Kind of looks like a leaf. And we did it. We finished our elephant. Now, if you want, you could add more details. You can use your imagination, maybe add some wrinkles on his trunk. You could add wrinkles or tears on his ear. I'm going to add a few tears. Let's add a couple like this and maybe a small one right on the end. Now, you could also draw a background. You could do all kinds of things with this drawing. I'm going to leave it just like this. I'm going to put my marker off to the side, and I'm going to color my elephant. He's going to look a lot cooler once we color him.
My jdeme asi na další a teď vybírám. Kdo vybírá?
Ty, poslední.
Ne, ještě vybíráme 5.
Ne, Marečko, jsem byla unavená. No.
Tady to bude.
Ještě jedna.
Hey, our friends, we're so glad you're with us. We hope you're going to follow along. Who are we drawing today?
Pikachu!
You ready to start?
Yes!
Let's first draw his eyes right in the middle of our paper towards the top. And we're going to draw 2 circles, and we want to space them out just a little bit too. So we're going to draw the first circle right here, and then we're going to leave a space. And we're going to draw the other circle over here, and we want both circles to be the same size. Good.
Oh, like right here?
Yeah, that's a good spot. Perfect. Now we're going to draw the reflection in his eyes. So we're going to draw another circle up here in the top right, and then another circle on this one in the top left.
Cross-eyed.
Yeah, it looks a little cross-eyed, but we're going to color in the big circle and leave those small circles white. Good job. Now we're going to draw his nose, and it's just a little dot or a little dash at the bottom. So it's lined up with the bottom in between his eyes. Good. Now let's draw his mouth. And so let's draw, we're going to leave a little space and put a point. That's the middle of his mouth. And then from that point, we're going to draw a U shape. And then we'll draw another U shape on the other side. There we go. That's really simple, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, now we're going to draw the outside of his head. And we're going to start with the top. And we're going to start right above this eye. And we're going to draw a rainbow line that goes over to the other eye and stops. Good. And then we're going to leave little gaps on both sides. So we're going to draw his cheek on this side first. So we'll draw a little bump that comes in towards his eye, and then it's going to come back out for his cheek. That's pretty easy, huh?
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, that looks really good. Now we're going to draw that same thing on the other side. So a little bump that comes back in towards his eye, and then we'll come back out for his cheek. I got a little wobbly. That's okay. We're practicing, right?
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah, that looks good. I like it. He's got chubby cheeks.
Yes.
Okay, now I'm going to make sure at the very bottom that his little cheeks come in closer together. So right down here at the bottom, this little space gets closer together. Good. Now let's draw the circles on each of his cheeks. And they're half circles. So we're going to draw a circle over here on this side. Connects to his cheek. And we'll draw a circle on this side. We want those to be the same size, right?
Yes.
So it's symmetrical, and symmetry means the same on both sides. All right, now let's draw his ears. We'll start right here next to this gap, and we're going to draw a curve that comes out and then back in close to the other side of the gap. Yes. Perfect. Okay, now at the top, let's draw a little diagonal line and then color in the tip of his ear. Perfect. Now we're going to draw his other ear, and we want to make sure that they're the same size, and we're going to do the same steps too. So we're going to draw a curve that comes down and connects close to the gap, and then we'll come back over here and draw the other side of his ear. And then we could draw that diagonal line at the very end and then color the tip. What should we draw next?
His body.
Okay, we're going to draw an S line on both sides. So we're going to start right next to the dot, the circle on his cheek, and we're going to come down and then curve back out. He's going to be sitting. A little S line. Curves one way and then the other way. Good. And then we're going to draw that same S line on the other side. We'll start right at the bottom of the dot, curve one way, and then back the other way. Good. Now we're going to draw his front legs. So we'll start right next to his neck, and we're going to draw a curve that comes down towards the middle. And then we're going to draw a curve on the other side that's exactly the same, but opposite, right?
Yeah.
Symmetry. There we go. Now let's draw the outside of his front legs. So we'll come over here and we'll draw a curve that comes towards the middle.
My až to zaděláme, tak vám ukážeme ty obrázky, co jsme dělali a uděláme si teda další díl. A to budou 5 díly naraz, že jo? To je těžké.
Where his wrist is,
No?
Good. And then we'll do the same thing on the other side. And we want to make sure that they look the same width. Now let's draw his fingers, and we're going to draw 5 little fingers, little V shapes that are down here. And it's okay if you don't get all 5. You can just try to do your best and do a little zigzag. How many? Oh, I did 4. Yeah, see, I messed
1,
up.
2, 3, 4, 5.
Did you get them?
Yeah.
Good. And then we can do the same thing on the other side. 2, 3. I'll just do 4 again. He's missing his thumb. All right, next let's draw his feet. So here we're going to draw an oval shape right here, and it's not going to connect. So we're going to come up and then back down like this, like we're drawing an oval, but we don't want to connect. We want to leave a little gap. Good job. And then we're going to draw 2 lines for his toes. 1, 2. And then we'll draw the bottom of his leg right here. Good. Now let's do the same thing on the other side. And we want to make sure that this foot is the same size. So we'll draw another oval. It comes out, comes down, draw the heel, comes back up, and then leave a gap. Perfect. And then we can draw those toes. 2 little lines.
Yes. Mom.
And then we'll draw the bottom of his leg. Good. And then we're missing 1 little line in between his front legs right here. We did it, except we're missing one thing. What
His tail.
Yeah, we're missing the coolest part.
Yes.
His tail. So right here, we're going to draw one side of his tail first, and it's going to go behind his head. So we're using overlapping. We're going to draw a sideways V shape. Okay, and then we'll come back up here, and we're going to draw the top of his tail, so it's a big curve, comes out. And then we're going to draw the end of his tail, so we'll draw a line down. And then we're going to draw a zigzag line, or a sideways W. So here we go. We're going to come in, and then back out. So there's the first part. Good. And then we're going to come back in. And then one last bump. Checkers, man, you did awesome. Did you have fun?
Yeah!
You turned out really cool. Now we need to color them, don't we?
Yes.
Okay, let's fast forward. Checkers, we finished coloring Pikachu.
Hotovo. Yes. My vám to ukážeme. Takže první obraz vám ukáž od mamky. Ukáž to. Tak. Musím mamku pochválit, protože teď vám ukážu můj. Zaprvé.
Krásný.
Máš stiž. A teď ukážeme Pikachu. It's Pikachu. Mamku musím pochválit, ale mě nemusím pochválovat. Já vím, vypadá tak pucle. A pucle ho mám. Pokémon Go. A že by se ho vybarvit, že? Třeba to vybarvit. Takže lidi, já to mám celý balík, abyste si nemysleli z toho. Takže to dostanu 2 pucle. No a teď se mi to rozsypalo. Fakt lidi. Fakt to se může stávat jenom mě, že jo? Řekně ano.
Ano.
Dávno tam nechtí. Aha. Sorry. Takže která tam byla? Za prvé
Červená a žlutá.
Červená a žlutá. Aspoň, že mám základní barvy. Ty znáte žlutou? Tak bude. Já mám červenou a já to jdu vybarvit. On to má, já mám ty kolečka, jako to, co? Vybarvuj. Tak, to mám taky odspinzovaného. No lidi. Ne. Já musím počkat na mamku. Nakonec to dělá podle sebe, že? Ty už nepotřebuješ žlutou? Tak to. Já si ho udělám z celého žlutého. Jasný Pikachu. No lidi, jako... Podepiši tam. No. Já tam podepíšu. Mamka nemusí. Já tam napíšu. Jak se jmenuje? Já už vím. Ne, to se nemluvilo, to jim bude pravé jméno, ale... Bum. Tak. Já už to mám hotový.
Já taky.
No a můžeš to ukázat? Pikachu, prosím, Pikachu. Můj Pikachu. Já to mám až na pídmidi. Až. Tahle pídmidi. No a teď si vybavíte ten druhý a máme hotový video. Je hodně práce. Mami,
No.
si baví ten druhý. Jaký slon? No lidi. Já bych to asi udal až potom, protože tak. Ukaž ještě jednou. Mami. Ukaž ještě jednou. Tak, mamkou. Tak,